friends, we're back for another video. Today I have a kind of a weird set for you. Well, I think it's weird. I got a little crazy. So I went neon, which is not really a spring thing because I'm kind of edging into summer a little. I don't know. I was having a thing because it was spring and it's green. Everything's turning green. And I was like, oh, I wonder what I could do with this. It's actually called lemonade, but it's green. I'm not really sure why. I would have thought it would have been yellow, but that's okay. So it's a yellow and a purple. And then I have this fun little dot glitter that matched the purple. So I use that in the corners. And right now what I'm going to do is create a geometric stamping design with the two different colors. So this is really out of my box as far as like comfort zone goes. I'm not a big neon person, but I just thought it's not that I'm not a neon person. I shouldn't say that. I'm just not always sure what to do with neons and nail art. I seem to always fail miserably when it comes to neons and nail art. I don't know what it is about it. But anyway, so the first thing I'm doing is stamping a silver, just a geometric design. You can see I have a Maniology plate. I think it's M135 or 133. They're all sort of like lacy, mandala-esque kind of designs. I'm using the one in the top left, your screen, top left of your screen. And then I'm going to use a lower one, and we're going to do a coloring book stamp with that. I haven't done coloring book in a while, and I'm going to show you. I did a blooper first. I think I'm going to show it to you, where I stamped it on, and I went, yeah, that really doesn't do anything for me, but it would be really cool if it were coloring book style. So I went back in and changed it over to a coloring book. But I think that I left the error in there because I wanted you to see it. Oh yeah, I did, because so you can see the purple. So that's a Maniology purple stamping paint, which matched really well with my nail polish. But when I went to put it onto the nail, it did not really do anything. You'll see, it's just kind of flat. And this happens sometimes. The beautiful thing is that this was a gel polish, so I could just wipe it off, which is what I'll do in a minute. But it'll give you an idea of what the coloring book design is we're going to be doing. So there it is. That's the coloring book design we're going to be doing. But see how flat that is? It just didn't really do anything. So I wiped it off and I started over again. And this is me starting over again. I am going to do this on both nails, but as you can see, one is up above, the other is down below, because I flipped the way that the design was sitting on the nail. Oh, excuse me, there I go yawning. But I did that just for interest. Someday I'm going to figure out how not to yawn in a video, because I swear I feel like I yawn a lot lately. I don't know why. So for this design, we're going to be using that geometric flower that I just showed you a second ago. What we are going to color it with is a gold kind of tone, that same purple that I just used a minute ago, but we're going to color it with the purple. And then I'm going to back that purple with a white so sometimes this funny thing happens with stamping where if you are stamping on a really vivid color, your colors of your stamping paint don't show up as well as they should. And so what you can do to keep that from happening is color the back of it with white before you stamp it over onto the vivid color. And what that does is it supports the paint so that the paint doesn't turn whatever that underlying color is. So because this is a neon green underneath, I thought it was going to be really important to give that, here I go again, purple, sorry about that purple a better chance of popping off the nail as opposed to being absorbed into some of that greenish tone, which could set the purple off. I apologize because I just went off screen. Yeah. But what I'm doing is coloring the flower. You'll see it in just a second. I'm going to bring it back on screen because I cut out part of the video because I realized that I was off screen. So I'm going to come back on in a second with this. You'll see it transition, and yeah, you can see the edge of the flower there. And now I'm back on screen. So there you go. So what I'm doing is just coloring this in. I figured you didn't want to watch me forever just coloring. So this is like a champagne gold color that I'm using right now. And then the other colors I had were black and that purple, because I really wanted to keep this like a tri-tone set. I didn't want to add a lot of color. I wanted to keep it, because it was going geometric, I wanted to keep it very refined and kind of within the lines, if you will, of a geometric. So that is what we're doing. I'm just checking my stamp now to make sure that it's going to transfer correctly and that I'm getting like the lineup appropriate. Now, one of those things, so here's a couple of things. When you're doing coloring book, don't forget that you have to then use a sticky base coat, which is what I just did, and let it set up for a minute. And like I said, I did put some, you can see the white on the back there. See how I backed the flower with some white where those purple parts were? And I'm just letting it set up for a minute because I put the sticky base on the back of it. But if you try to stamp the sticky base right away, what happens is it just smudges. So you have to actually let the sticky base coat dry for a minute so that it's just tacky before you transfer it. And then it transfers kind of like a sticker, which is lovely. This set does take a little bit of time. So if you were going to do this on a client at the salon, I would highly recommend that you do it. I left this in here too. I'm going to explain this blooper in a second. I highly recommend that you do it ahead of time, and then afterwards, I have no idea what I just did there. I was pressing down because some of the sticky parts didn't come up. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. I was like, what was I doing? So what I'm doing, you can see I just flipped it over. I'm going to put a little more sticky base coat on because it didn't transfer right away. I did not let that dry long enough, so I'm going to hang on a second because I stopped myself. And now I'm going to transfer that. So this happens a lot of times with stamping too. If it happens that it doesn't, nope, see, I went too fast. That's what happened there. If this happens where you end up with your design not coming off, you can go back and touch it up. You just have to line it up. The only thing is that if your stamper is getting fuzzy, I'll call it fuzzy, because you've used it a lot, sometimes it doesn't transfer. Sometimes you can't see real well, so you need to fix that if that's the case. Okay, there you go. So you can see that I fixed that up now that I waited another second and then tried to restamp it on top. So I was telling you that it would just kind of smudge around and not really transfer. I left that in there because I wanted to show it to you, because that was one of those cases where I did not wait long enough. I tried to stamp it too quickly, and so it just smudged off. But if you just wait another second or two, let it dry, which is what I did, and then tried to transfer it, it obviously transferred better at that point. So now you can see we have this kind of like almost like a stained glass window geometric sparkly thing going on. I don't know what to call that. It's very Art Deco, I guess. This set is very Art Deco. So I'm going to do that same thing again. You can see I just transferred it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because that would be really boring, but I am going to show you this white thing that I talked about earlier. So I have repainted that second flower, and now I'm going in and just repainting the white at the back. And you can see I'm just going around on those petals. That's what I'm painting white. Everything else I've left just the way it is. I am going to paint the champagne backing as well on this one, because I noticed when I transferred the first time, it didn't. I think I'm going to. Maybe I'm not. I thought I did. Wait, let's see. I don't even know, people. Did I do it? Did I not do it? No, I'm still working on petals. Well, whatever. I think I might have put it on the back of this champagne color too, just to make it pop a little bit more on the second nail, because I don't know that I was as happy with it on the first. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. So I didn't. Maybe I should have. Okay, I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and then we're going to stamp that on the other side, and I will show you what it looks like after I have top coated the whole set. With those dots, one of those things that you have to be careful of is to press those in. So this already has top coat on it. So I had done the polish, put the dots into a little bit of sticky base coat and cured it, and then I went over it with a little bit of top coat. What that does is it helps to smooth the little dots so that later on, there we go. You see how that transfers just like a stamp, like a sticker? So So later on, it won't be as hard to top coat over, because sometimes those dots and things of that nature, hexagons, all those things, can stand up a little bit too much. You can also try to file it, but sometimes I find when you try to file them, then it ends up scuffed looking, and I don't really like that. So I'm just touching up an edge and peeling around the rest. And then, oh God, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm touching up a flower. That's what it is. Oh, another thing. Yeah. So tips about stamping, right? Another thing that can happen is sometimes when you transfer, it pulls off a little piece, because it is a really thin layer when you do that base coat on the back. So if that happens, don't stress about it. It's not really a big deal. I usually just take a little bit of paint, touch it up, and you're done. Some people panic when they're doing coloring book if something like that happens, and I get why, but don't panic. It's no big deal. So there you go. That is our finished set. I'm going to put some top coat on, and then I will show you them put together complete. I hope you enjoyed this set. This was a kind of a, like I said, out of my box, but I was just looking for something different. I was like, I'm going to do something different, and I had these dots, and I had these crazy colors, and I was like, well, let's see. Let's see what I can make out of this mess. So that is my messy set for this week. Next week, I'm going to show you some really fun foiled mermaid glass. Oh, I got hair. Get that hair out of there. Get that out of there. Okay. I'm going to show you some mermaid glass nails, foil nails. Did I say glass? There you go. Isn't that kind of fun? I thought this was kind of fun. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I was happy with it in the end. All right. I'll see you next week. Have fun, guys.